be ballin'. I be ballin'. Let's go.
Subscribe for more basketball content by Ash.
I be. Welcome to another episode of I Be Ballin' Basketball Show. It's your girl, Young Ash, Little Ash, all the Ashleys, you know what I'm saying? Today, we got a special episode, the WNBA All-Star Weekend edition. Whoop, 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 hit you up with the W, what? Hit you up with the W, what? Moesha fans know what I'm talking about, Moesha. Okay, so I'm gonna break down, everything that happened, It was, in Chi-Town, Chicago. Yeah, Chicago Sky, was hosting it, and it was awesome. So I'm gonna start with the skills challenge, right? And if you're familiar with watching the NBA All-Star Weekend, the skills challenge is very familiar. You're running through the cones, you're dribbling, you gotta be fast, you gotta pass those things, pass. They had some bigs, but they also had some guards. What was nice about it was they had high schoolers, you know, pairing up with one of the WNBA players, and I thought that was pretty good. That was nice. That's, spreading the game, growing the game. That was awesome, you know what I mean? And who do you think won? I'm going to tell you who won. Sabrina from the New York Liberty won. She's a triple-double machine. She has all the skills, the handles. Rebecca Lobo was calling her out, on ESPN because when she was passing it, her foot was over the line multiple times. But it don't matter. She still got the passing, she still got the ball in. It don't matter, And her teammate, who's committed to NC State, Zoe Brooks, was helping her, And I think the biggest thing about the skills challenge is obviously going real fast through the cones, making the pass, the first pass, and getting that three-point shot. Getting that three-point shot is huge. And Sabrina, she can knock it down with the best of them, you know what I mean? So, the basketball league that, the high schoolers were in was the EYBL, was Elite Youth Basketball League, right? So they were actually playing in Chicago around the same time. So that's how, the high schoolers got to, participate. And I thought that was cool. Kelsey Plum also participated. Smith from the Indiana Fever, the Rook, she was participating. JJ, Jonquel Jones, she was participating, I'm going to go to the three-point challenge because that's the one I was really excited about. I was rooting for Allie Quigley. That's who I was rooting for. How could you not root for her, right? I'm just going to tell you, she won, right? She is one of the best shooters. If you want to learn how to shoot, Google Allie Quigley. Watch how she does it, man. It's so awesome. And after she won, she was like, shoot till your arm falls off, That was her advice. But there was actually some other good shooters too. From the Washington Mystics, Ariel Atkins, you know what I mean? Kelsey Plum really bombed, and I saw her face. She was not pleased. I'm glad she redeemed herself later. But Allie Quigley, I love that, her teammates was there rooting for her. Obviously, there was a lot of Sky fans there rooting for her. Um, she just put on a shooting clinic that was amazing. And Candace Parker was there, obviously, wearing her DePaul jersey, Allie Quigley's DePaul jersey. Her wife was there, obviously. Their teammates with the Chicago Sky, Courtney Vandersloot. Everyone was just cheering her on. And in the last round, she had already won, right? She had already won, and her racks wasn't even finished. She had already won, and her racks wasn't finished, and she made like all of them in the last rack, all the money racks. It was just amazing shooting, you know. She had like 26 points one round and then 30 points another round. It was amazing. Oh, Ryan Howard, the rookie from Atlantic Dream, she was also shooting that thing, shooting that rock. Arike from the 414, MKE, you know. She this was her second All-Star appearance. She didn't do that well in the three-point contest. Maybe next time, you know, maybe next time. Um, Allie Quigley obviously made history. No one in the NBA or the WNBA won the three-point contest 4 times. Four of them things. She's from Illinois. She went to DePaul. She plays for this guy. It just made sense for her to win, and she was on one. And you would think she would be nervous, right? And, you know, everybody rooting for her and everything, but, you know, she was shooting like clutch. She was clutch. Um, Go Google Allie Quigley for shooting practices. You know, and if you want to be like Sabrina, you know, you got to practice your all around game. So I'm going to go to next. I'm going to go to the All-Star game. It was a great All-Star game. It was amazing. Obviously, we know Sue Bird, right? And Sylvia Fowles. They're legends. They're Hall of Famers. They're All-Stars. They're superstars, right? This is their last season, y'all. This was their last season. And this was their last All-Star game. And so, you know, man, I wish I could be there, you know, to see that. They got their flowers, you know. I saw, you know, autographed basketballs. Sylvia Fowles really showed out. If you haven't seen it, go Google the dunk that she did. It was a breakaway dunk. She got the steal. Woo, woo, woo. Boom. And y'all know this is her last season, bro. And she still can get up there. That means, that shows me that she got more in the tank. But she decided to leave, you know. And when you ready, right? Um, and she hit a three in the opening tip. She was knocking down that thing. Jonquel Jones was going for the MVP, but her team was not very good. But she was knocking down. They had a 4-point shot, which was, you know, obviously way deeper than the three, and you know, people was attempting it a lot. I think the only ones that did it was Jonquel Jones from the Connecticut Sun, uh, Sabrina Escu from, I hope I pronounced her last name right, from, you know, the Liberty. Kelsey Plum knocked it down. More on her later. Candace Parker knocked the three down, or was it a four? I think it was four. Yeah, it was, you know, great to see them all balling. Obviously, all the Sky players that were all stars, like, you know, Copper and Emma, you know, Courtney Vandersloot, they was receiving all types of cheers, obviously, because, you know, they got the home crowd in them. Vandersloot was passing that rock. Copper was doing her thing, her finals MVP thing, you know. There was great highlights. The one that stole the show, the one that was slicing up Team Stewart, you know, that was on, you know, Team Asia Wilson, you know, it was Team Stewart, Team Asia Wilson. They were the team captains. And obviously, Asia drafted her teammate and made the right decision, y'all, because she tied the All-Star record for 30 points in the game. and she was just slicing up the defense. She was. They couldn't hold her. They couldn't hold her. Now I know Enrique 414, y'all. She crossed her up, but she couldn't knock down the shot, unfortunately. But Kelsey Plum showed the show, and I'm happy for her because her career wasn't you know looking good, as the number 1 pick, but she worked on her game effortlessly, and now she's getting the accolades and awards because she deserves it. She works hard. She proved to people like, yeah, I'm not your normal number 1 pick, but hey, I'm gonna make this work. And she grinded it out. And so I'm happy that she balling. She balling. And hopefully, I, I do want the Aces to win, because of Becky Hammond and Asia Wilson on the team. I love Asia Wilson's personality. They got a deep team, you know what I'm saying? They got Chelsea Gray, you know what I'm saying? But I also want to root for Candace Parker in the Chicago Sky, and my favorite color is blue. Yes, I know I'm from Milwaukee. I shouldn't be cheering for a Chicago team. I know. Don't hate me, man. Wherever Candace Parker go, I go. Just like Giannis. Wherever Giannis go, I go. Like, will I always be a Bucks fan? Absolutely. But, I shouldn't even said that. Giannis is going to retire as a Buck. That is my opinion. But if he happened to go somewhere else, I'll be a fan of that team. I shouldn't have said that. Bucks fans are going to be terrible at me. The jockey crew, they're going to be mad at me for saying that. Oh, I'm really sorry, guys. I'm sorry. But the All-Star game was incredible. A big, big moment. Hopefully, ESPN, you can look up the segment they did on Brittney Griner. Bring 42 home. Free BG, free Brittney Griner. They did a segment about the whole timeline of, her being in Russia and, being in prison. And they're supporting her, and her wife was there, courtside, and, saying that Joe Biden did respond to the letter that she sent. And it was a just great segment, great information. A lot of people say, yo, if LeBron was, there, he would have been freed by now. But obviously, you're dealing with, certain countries, it takes a longer process, right? And they're thinking about doing a switch, American for Russian, and that's how this thing's probably going to end up, So I just hope, that she gets home, and that, mental health is very important. And so I'm not, like, when she does decide to play again, that's going to be a beautiful moment, but I just want her mind to be right. So want her mental to be, right, because it's probably not right now. So just continue to, hope that she comes home, Phoenix Mercury, they're kind of struggling without her, obviously, Skylar Diggins doing her thing. But, oh yeah, and, Diana Taurasi, unfortunately, didn't make the All-Star team, and the Phoenix coach was, Vanessa was very upset, but we don't know if this is Taraji's last season. I hope not, because I would like her to be in the All-Star game and get her flowers as well. But yeah, they celebrated superb Sylvia Fowles. And something that they did that was amazing in the second half was they all switched their jerseys to say Griner in the back, and got the 42 on the back as well. And I thought that was dope. I wasn't expecting that. That was dope. That was a great idea. Obviously, it's on the court, 42 BG, but the jerseys was amazing, because, she's like an honorary all-star. And I guess let me close it out with one of my favorite moments. Obviously, the 3-point challenge was my favorite moment because of Allie Quickly. I did like the skills challenge. The fact that they had the high schoolers in there, that was dope. My favorite moment, I think, was Sylvia Fowles. She's she's a big star, but she's not like in the commercials and everything. I'm glad to see her celebrated. You know what I mean? And her season's not really going that well. She was injured. And I hope the Lynx do better. But I'm glad that she got a lot of you know attention. Because she's not she doesn't really talk that much. And the reporter was like, "Come here, Files, come talk." And she doesn't really like the spotlight, but I'm glad to see her shine. Glad to see her dunk and all that. Oh, lower the rims, lower the rims. No, no. Because, like, is there a lot of dunks in the NBA? Yes. But every NBA player don't be dunking. Do you see Chris Paul, Steve Nash? Do you see them dunking? Yes. It's a taller, you know, player's thing to dunk, right? So, yeah, Sylvia Fowles being, 6'5", she can dunk, right? Brittney Griner, she was dunking. She was bringing those dunks, right? Candace Parker, Lisa Leslie, um, Emeka Egwumike actually was attempting to dunk, and it was like, okay, we'll allow it. But I don't know. I feel like lowering the rims is just, it would be demeaning, and sometimes it can like flip on you. Like you think it's a great idea, then people be laughing at you like, you gotta lower the rim just to dunk. And me personally, I don't think lowering the rims is even gonna make people watch. Like maybe they'll watch a game or two and then they'll be like, nah, I'll pass. You know what I mean? You gotta get genuine fans that love the game. If you love the game of basketball, it don't matter if you can dunk or not. That ain't what the basketball is all about. It's about that ball movement, that teamwork, that hustle. You know what I mean? Like, if you can dunk, dunk. But, like, for example, a game winner. Do you want game-winning dunk or a game-winning layup? Like, of course, a game-winning dunk is very exciting, but it don't matter as long as you hit the game winner. You know what I mean? You know. So, I'm going to end it with free Brittney Griner. Very, 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 very soon. Because it's taking too long. But, sometimes, dealing with different countries and it takes time. But a lot of people are like, what's taking so long? She's been in there too long. She's probably not very comfortable. 6'9" on a small bed. But hopefully, things will be alright. A funny Twitter moment. A funny Twitter moment was people was talking bad and criticizing the WNBA because Kelsey Plum won, the All-Star MVP. And the trophy was real little, man. And people was like, what's bigger than that trophy? People was like talking about all type of different examples. And then someone had Googled like an All-Star MVP, a WNBA version of it on like Amazon or something like that. And it was bigger than the trophy that Kelsey Plum won. So I'm like, yo, WNBA, y'all need to get it together. Like, I feel like the WNBA doesn't promote all the players as well as they should. They don't be promoting as well as they should. Because I bet some people don't even know, where to find the games at, where they playing at. you know, what season, what month, you know. I bet some people don't even know that you can watch, you know, the WNBA games sometimes on Facebook for free. You can, if you got Amazon Prime, you can watch it, right? So there's a lot of ways other than ESPN, ABC, you know, they play on NBA TV, but I feel like, you know, you don't really see them promoting it. Even ESPN channel they be playing on don't even really promote them as much as they should. And that's my opinion. But of course, I know when the games are because I am a big, huge fan. But for the casual fans, you gotta, you know, show it to them more, and you gotta show them more players and more teams. You know, can certain people even know how many teams the WNBA has or their names? You know, it needs to promote it way, way more than they should. In my opinion, you know, that's just my thing. But yeah, JJ did her thing. Let me see how many points she had. She had like 29 points, 13 rebounds. She would have won. Team Stewart, if they played better, they could have won. Jewel Lloyd showed out. She's a Chicago native. Shout out to her. She was trying to bring Team Stewart back, but she couldn't do it all by herself, you know. But she was swishing, you know. Kobe used to give her a lot of ton of advice. She got that Kobe in her game, you know what I mean? Lick her up too. All these names that I'm saying, if you're not familiar with the game, look these players up. They really good. Jonquel Jones, Sabrina Escu, Kelsey Plum. Obviously, people know the big names like Candace Parker, Sue Bird, but try to look into other players. Allie Quigley, you know. The game got a lot of great, you know, players, you know, but we gotta spread the word on it, you know what I mean? We gotta spread the word. But right now, I'm about to end it with please subscribe, like, comment, spread the word to your basketball friends, WNBA fans, NBA fans. You know, I also do college, especially around March Madness. And my next episode, you know, is gonna be fire. It's gonna be lit. I'm not gonna tell you what it's about yet. I'm not gonna tell you what it's about yet. Why? Because I want you to subscribe. Then when you hit that bell, you know, you'll know. It'll be like, oh, new episode by Ash. I be balling, you know. But I definitely got a lot of things coming, man. I got a new segment coming called Story Time with Ash, where I explain different basketball stories that I have, especially the one that's premiering is about Giannis and Nike basketball. I also got an episode coming out about Giannis and his film Rise. You know, yes, I'm spilling, you know, spilling my guts and the goodies, you know. I wasn't gonna do it, but I did. I'm gonna review the movie and talk about things that I liked about it, things that I learned. Um, I definitely recommend you watching it. And I'm gonna leave with this. Always, always keep your head up, keep your head up, keep your head up, keep your head up. Yeah, you know, life is definitely hard, but you gotta keep pushing, you know, pushing through the hard times so you can get to the good times, you know. And with that, I'm about to leave. Thank you for watching. I be ballin'. It's your girl, Young Ash. Peace. Moments of the WNBA is Candace Parker, who grew up right here in Maple, close to Chicago, went to Naperville Central High School. Of course, started her career with the Sparks, where she was a legend, an MVP, a champion. And then in free agency, she shocked the world, came back home to Chicago, where she has become a legend. Leading them, of course, to the WNBA championship last season there with daughters Layla and new for three.
She's only made one in her career, and we've never seen her do this in a regulation game. But all right, we see it better.
Woohoo!
Sylvia Fowles.
We're late getting back out on the court, and it's for a very good reason. They have all changed.
This is so sweet.
And their number. Every single player has come out in a Brittney Griner jersey with her number 42 on the front and back and her name. They all stood at center court, lined up in solidarity, bringing attention to Brittney Griner, who has been wrongfully detained in Russia. Really surreal, special moment for WNBA All-Stars as these players literally say, "We have your back."
Free BG. Free Brittney Griner.
Our director, Candace, Holly Rowe, the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo, and our entire crew. I'm Ryan Rucco. Coming up next, an encore presentation of Wimbledon 2022 Gentlemen's Championship. We say so long from Chicago.
You know, God doesn't give you anything you can't handle. And
Amen.
I think for me, that was the best kind of thing that could happen to me. I got reset mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and
Oh, that's nice.
I feel great. Okay, you guys had a lot of fun on Team Wilson. A lot of points were scored. I think the best point of the day for me, though, was when Sylvia Fowles got up and dunked. What was your reaction when you saw her throw it down? Oh, I can't even say it. I was like, holy.
4-pointer.
This is crazy. She got up and flushed it, and then she pinned it on the backboard the next play. She's unbelievable. Well, congratulations on a big performance for you. But as we move into the end of the WNBA season, what are you excited about for your Aces team, one of the best teams in the league right now as we enter the playoff format? Yeah, Holly, this is great, but none of this matters unless we win. So
They better win a chip.
All right. Can't wait to see what the Aces.
I don't know. I think I just heard like my teammates in the crowd, and I was like, okay, just go for it.
How long has it been since you last dunked?
2020.
This is for real. Her very first All-Star performance. So many years
Bang.
ago, you threw down a dunk. It's so fitting that in
Boom.
your last All-Star performance, you throw down a dunk.
Bang, boom.
We love you so much. What an incredible career. Thank you for the show today. It's been amazing. The group behind me, both teams. It's so much fun to be around these players. And it's really cool knowing that for Syl and I, yes, we're going out, but we're obviously leaving the game in some amazing hands. This might have been one of the best All-Star games.
Look at the
In terms
little
of just,
baby.
we got a dunk in. We got some other things happening. I won't say it, Plum. I know how it feels. So a lot of good stuff happened on the court. It's exciting. I'm excited to be a fan. You talked about the young stars, and I'm just wowed by all of these young stars behind us. The future.
And her team.
We need to get her back home. She deserves to be home. She needs to be back with her family, with her friends.
Brittney Griner, center for the Phoenix Mercury, two-time Olympic gold medalist, seven-time WNBA All-Star, WNBA champion, a Russian prisoner.
139 days. That's a really, really long time for someone to be wrongfully imprisoned in another country, and we just need her home.
Griner, who plays basketball internationally for Russia, was arrested on February 17th in a Russian airport for allegedly having hashish oil in her luggage. That news came and went, with Griner's camp and the WNBA initially hoping to resolve the issue and bring BG home quietly. 7 days later, February 24th, Russia invaded Ukraine, only furthering the concern about diplomatic negotiations to return BG home safely. The WNBA community never lost sight of Griner's predicament.
Before we get into tonight.
Third, 75 days into Griner's imprisonment, the United States declared her wrongfully detained, which also gave supporters the green light to raise public awareness and thrust questions about why the U.S. government seemed to be moving without urgency. Is it because she's a woman? Is it because she's black? Is it because she's gay? As the disparities between those communities on U.S. soil are prevalent, it's hard for those questions not to be answered with painful rhetorical answers.
If it was LeBron or KD or Steph Curry, do you think that you would be sitting here today? Respectfully and no shade to them when I say this, but the answer to that question would be no. I think it's just about being as loud as possible, talking about it as much as possible, because at this point it seems like pressure is what's going to get the job done. So from our side of things, this side of the water, we need to put pressure on our government to do their best to figure it out with.
Wrote to President Biden on her 137th day of imprisonment. In part, she wrote, "It hurts thinking about how I usually celebrate this day because freedom means something completely different to me this year." Her letter prompted President Biden and Vice President Harris to reach out to Griner's wife, Sherelle, 2 days later, to reassure her and their family that they are doing all they can to get BG home as soon as possible. On July 7th, BG pleaded guilty to Russian drug charges and told the judge she had inadvertently packed hashish oil and didn't intend to break Russian law. Despite her plea, the trial could go on for weeks. Experts say her best hope for release is a negotiated deal between the U.S. and Russia. Fortunately, the WNBA and its supporters are familiar with being at the forefront of issues and making those in positions of power take notice. We Are BG will not be exhausted.
Free BG! Free Brittney Griner!
All-Star Game memory. Yeah, that's one way to do it. Sylvia Fowles.
Last season. Last All-Star Game. Ah, she hyped.